Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. And today, my friends, we're back with a showdown between the Wood Elves and the Demons of Chaos. It's actually going to be Ariel coming in with the Sisters of Twilight facing off against everybody's favorite lord, LAKOR, the Dark Prince. Now, as far as the build goes, I kind of figured that the Demons of Chaos would be using the Mortars, the Soul Grinders of Nurgle, to bombard archers and Eternal Guard and Dryad positions. So I basically just brought nothing for them to shoot at. Treekin, obviously, are going to be taking basically 0 damage against those things. Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips, a little bit vulnerable, but I figured they can just kind of bounce around, stay out of range, and give me some utility on the battlefield. So the reason why I brought the Glade Riders is because they do magic damage and poison damage, so that's pretty good against demons, right? Demons are generally weak against magic damage, so it surpasses their 20% physical resist. I can just shoot at whatever and bounce around on a bigger map like this. Ariel is very good here because Demons of Chaos almost always bring a Flying Lord. And she's able to kind of just spam out Tempest. She has Soul Stealer if you were able to get a blob going, and Dwellers Below. I mean, she's got a really good kit of spells. On top of that, she's got Berry Wine and the Acorn of the Ages. Up in the sky, Sisters of Twilight, good for the same reason, right? Demons of Chaos almost always bring a big, expensive lord that you can generate value by just sitting in one spot the entire game and just shooting at those targets. And also, they're pretty good against Soul Grinders and other things that the demons like to bring. Treekin are obviously great. You know, they have the magic damage, which again surpasses the 20% physical resist of demons, and demons honestly don't really have anything that's super good against Treekin, and if they do have it, I mean, I guess there's a couple things that might be okay, but you would never see them, right? Like, those aren't the things that demons typically bring. Like, blues and pinks are terrible against Treekin. Plague Bearers are very mediocre against them. I'm trying to think of what armor piercing they could bring. Yeah, like, Flamers of Tzeentch might be able to do some work, but generally speaking, it's not going to be great. Yeah, these trees are going to be able to hold it down. I suppose they are weak to fire damage to an extent, except the Firebark Elders, but even still, it's not a great trade. Now, over here for Subitai's build, he has the double Soul Grinder of Tzeentch, Plague Bearers to hold objectives, which is very standard, LAKOR just a hard carry and just kill whatever he wants, basically, and it is going to be some blues in the backfield. So the initial fighting is underway. You can see the Sisters of Twilight immediately getting some pretty good value as they do just poke the Soul Grinder here. And Soul Grinder is going to be shooting into the Treekin, which was pretty funny. I was certainly cackling when this was happening, because you'll see, like, the ammunition is just not going to pay for itself. And yeah, it does maybe, like, I don't know, that did about 100 damage, maybe 200 damage? Yeah, it did about 200. So Ariel's going to be able to heal them with Apotheosis if need be, and we will see what happens. Over here, the Sisters of Twilight going to be up on their bird here. Not the cool dragon. In retrospect, I was kind of like, maybe I should have brought the dragon. But this thing does have 110 speed, so it's a little bit more maneuverable than the dragon, can run away from LAKOR, whereas the dragon has the same speed as LAKOR, so it would be a much more stressful situation for me to kind of micro away from LAKOR constantly. So normally targeting LAKOR can be a bit of a mistake, like you'll invest a lot to try and kill him and then he survives and you kind of just lose the game because everything else is healthy. But considering I had Tempest in the back pocket here as well, which does quite a bit of damage, you can see it snares him down, I figured that, you know, attempting to kill LAKOR would be a good play. On the backside, we do have some Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips holding that objective, and Deepwood Scouts are another really good anti-demon unit. Deepwood Scouts do magic damage, so they just like absolutely pound the lightly armored demons. Not going to do crazy damage against Soul Grinders with their 90 armor, but LAKOR has low armor, Plague Bearers have basically no armor. Just a lot of things there are generally pretty good. Soul Grinder shots from downtown, once again going into the Glade Riders with Spears. Going to be trying to juke here, but that was a little bit of a micro mistake. I meant to summon in the Deepwood Scouts, but I accidentally clicked on the Glade Riders first, so gonna have to pay the price. I just wanted to kind of park them in the trees and use them to intercept Fleshhounds and things like that, but overall, that is going to be giving these Soul Grinders something to finally shoot at, which is really what I wanted to be avoiding here. So I do reveal my Deepwood Scouts to try and shoot LAKOR, but good micro from my opponent here. He's able to juke back and forth and mitigate that firepower, but the Sisters are much harder to dodge. So you can see there, it only does, man, that was like 50, 100 damage, didn't seem like much. Here comes the next volley, and it looks like he does dodge that by going to the ground there, so very slick play. But now you're going to see the ultimate wet noodle contest. You will see how long it takes Plague Bearers to cut through the Firebark Elders, which are just an insanely tanky unit. And yeah, LAKOR is kind of getting worked on a little bit. Yep, he's taking 100 damage at a time. It does add up. Now in the backfield, being bombarded by these two guys, my poor cavalry that I summoned in really paying the troll toll. And the Deepwood Scout's going to be starting to unleash some firepower here on the Blue Horrors, but I believe there is going to be a demonic response in the form of Fleshhounds in just a moment. And again, just methodically focusing on LAKOR, knowing that that's my victory condition. Kill LAKOR, save the world. That's basically the plan here as we continue to cast Tempest every time it's off cooldown and use these Sisters of Twilight to punish this big scary demon man. Bit of Shade's going down, nice cast there. Also the bombardments from the Grinders able to get some work there, so you can see the Deephoods taking massive HP damage and also losing models. But LAKOR is already at 30%, and the two Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, I pulled them up from reserve, and now they are going to be shooting into your boy LAKOR and also putting some pressure on the Exalted Plague Bears that are coming in. But I did not notice the two blues getting in position, and my opponent here is going to be able to get some big blue firepower. You always see him, you're like, oh, that's the melee one. But, you know, everything that Tzeentch has a little bit of DACA, so we do lose quite a bit of those skirmish cav there, and we pay the price. So Wild Riders coming in, Treekin trying to sandwich into the Soul Grinders, which are desperately pushing back here to try and get in the Deepwood Scouts, and at close range they do quite a bit of damage. Also could buy some time for LAKOR, take a little bit of pressure off him, we'll have to see, but the Soul Grinder is trapped up for now, and the archers should be able to get back and begin shooting. Treekin here, just hunting down the Soul Grinder, and this objective probably will flip, but look at this. I mean, Firebark Elders are basically taking no damage, and look at the DPS they're actually putting into these Plague Bearers here. A lot of that is because of Ariel, but even still, I mean, those Treekin are handling just heavy numbers advantages from the demons, and, you know, again, they don't have the capture weight to hold it, but it's more about value trading and picking off targets with the build I brought anyways. Fleshhounds coming around the side, a little bit of a vulnerability. I do have these Glade Riders as well as these Deepwood Scouts here, so going to be getting hunted down by the Fleshhounds. I will need to retreat here, as a Pit of Shades is also cast on my retreat path. Very nice. Now, Ariel was getting attacked by LAKOR, but the Wrath of Nature here is going to be dropping a big Soul Stealer down, which hits pretty much the entire army, and LAKOR does get pinned down by the Firebark Elders. And the Soul Stealer will be very cost effective against demons, considering it is magic damage. It doesn't do like an insane amount, but it does heal Ariel back up to full in tandem with the Berry Wine, which is a crazy good item, actually. There's a lot of cav coming in, using the Glade Riders and also the Wild Riders to kind of swarm in here and finish off the Fleshhounds, while using the Archers to go after the Soul Grinder. One of the other Soul Grinders a little bit trapped up here, but Ariel's a pretty good fighter as well. She is certainly the Avatar of Nature. 40-50, she's poisoned at the moment, but her weapon strength normally is over 400, so she is able to get the Soul Grinder of Nurgle down with some cool attack animations, and it looks like the Holy Hand Grenades from Nurgle, Unholy Hand Grenades coming in and doing about 20% to Ariel, but not before she is able to put some serious hurt on the Soul Grinder, and the Sisters of Twilight really just kind of keeping your boy LAKOR honest. There was actually a time when Ariel was unbreakable when the game first came out, or when she first came out in the Wood Elf DLC. She was originally unbreakable, which is pretty crazy. Wild Riders getting a good shock charge. I still think Wild Riders are a cav unit that are really overpriced. I think they should cost like 100 gold less. But even still, they do pretty good at kind of lancing down light targets like Blue Horrors and many of these demon units. And your boy LAKOR is up in the sky once again, and the Sister's going to be putting some big hurt on this big scary prince. And we are up in value pretty considerably, but remember, a lot of that value is tied up in LAKOR. And if he somehow managed to heal, get away, whatever, we could 100% like start to get the game flipped on us here. So we really need to take out this demon prince, and he is still not crumbling despite having 190 HP, certainly making all those undead jealous. 86 HP, still not negative leadership. Insane. The Sisters of Twilight doing their best. Thankfully, he doesn't have any like sort of healing outside of chasing routing units. And the Sisters get the job done. The Prince of Chaos falls. And there he goes back to the warp where the demons of chaos can make fun of him once again. So in the middle, looks like that's going to be tough. We are going to be able to push now. We have Deepwood Scouts, the other Soul Grinders going down, more Glade Rider Archers coming in, Ariel and the Treekin. I mean, look at the Treekin middle linebackers here. The office linebackers. You got, what was the guy's name? I think it was like Terry Tate, office linebacker. It's hilarious. But yeah, the Treekin here just holding it down. On the other side, there was an attempted ninja attempt, but the Glade Riders are actually really good light cavalry. They just have good general stats. Not quite as good as Reavers, but you know, they still get the job done, and they are able to hold off the Fleshhounds. While the Dryads were sent over there from my Vanguard point, and my opponent will tap out at that point. With LAKOR and the Soul Grinders being dead, Ariel and Sisters still being in very good shape, there's pretty much no chance for the demons there. So if you guys enjoyed that one, you know, I've been kind of experimenting with weird techs, trying out these weird builds and character combinations, and I think there are matchups in which Ariel can be good. I like her against anybody who's going to be trying to blob up on you, and big Soul Stealers with Treekin is a really powerful combo. You can also use Dwellers Below. Just get these really tanky and movable bricks, and then have her doing the damage with the AoE magic. Also allows you to bring a character like Orion. Orion actually can be good too, or the Sisters, right, who can just generate you this steady value. In this matchup, the Sisters are pretty much a shoo-in though. They're slightly vulnerable against like Blue Olgor, spamming Blue Fire, but even still, they have Conjoined Destiny, you have Apotheosis, you have Tempest, you have Berry Wine, so there's no way that Blue Pigeon is going to be able to DPS through all that. So let me know your thoughts, guys. What have you had success with the Wood Elves? Watching the most recent faction war and seeing Zarix, I'm not sure how he says that, win the most recent faction war with the Wood Elves kind of inspired me to start playing them a little bit. And yeah, honestly, I think they got some teeth, and looking forward to giving them more reps in the old battlefield. Take care, my friends. Well played to my opponent here. Soul Grinders with about 1,000 value each. Really, a lot of the assets here on the Demon roster were held to pretty low values. GG, well played. That's it for today. Take care of yourselves.